Hey, shalom, shalom. This is Brother Raphael, the Roni, back at it again. Hopefully with a quick, short, edifying lesson, man. I was looking at this video here, and, you know, when we look at our forefathers, which Malcolm is one of our forefathers, we see that till this day, shit hasn't changed. And this video alone proves that the scriptures are alive. When the scriptures say that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, you know, and people are asking, you know what I'm saying, who's the wicked? I mean, as the days go on, as the days go by, we clearly see who the wicked is. We saw who the wicked was in the past, you know what I'm saying? And this devil is still showing himself to be the wicked. Let's go over here to the first book of Job real quick. It says right here in the book of Job, chapter 8 and verse 8. It says, "For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers. For we are but of yesterday, and know nothing, because our days upon earth are a shadow." You know? So the scriptures say that you should inquire. Ask your fathers, and he will show thee. Right? So before we get this off, I want to give all praises and all honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kadash. That is the name of the Heavenly Father in our ancient tongue, the Paleo-Hebrew. You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true Israelites according to the Bible. I want to say double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to you. Shalom to the elders and bishops. I want to say shalom to you, Bishop Nathaniel. Alright? I want to say shalom to y'all brothers in Sakari. I want to say shalom to you other brothers who are rightly dividing the word of truth. Alright? Let's get this started.
Could we press for a very simple answer to one question? Do you hate all white people? I don't think it's a fair question. The white man doesn't even come into my attitude. Mr. Muhammad teaches us to love our own kind and let the white man take care of himself. For a white man today, sir, after kidnapping millions of black people from Africa, stripping them of all human characteristics and relegating them to the role of chattel or cattle or animals, commodity, merchandise that could be bought and sold at will, and then 100 years since the Emancipation Proclamation, using every type of deceptive method to further us into slavery, called second-class citizenship, I think that it would take a whole lot of nerve for white people today to ask Negroes, do they hate them?
You see what I'm saying? And that's so true. And it's like, you see, watch this. Let's go over here. Let's get out of that. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. So he mentioned a couple things. He mentioned slavery, right? And that's so true. The thing is that, let's go over here. Let's see what the Torah, let's see what the law says, right? You know, because that question that he asked him was so disingenuous, and he was setting him up. All right, he was setting him up. He's like, "Oh, do you think it's okay to hate all white people?" As if there's not a reason to hate you. Like we don't have a fucking reason to hate you devils, man. Like there's not a reason why the Father hates you. You see, so disingenuous. Let's go to the Torah. Let's see what the law says. I'm going to go over here to the book of Deuteronomy. Oh, I'm sorry. I think Exodus, actually. It says right here in the book of Exodus, We're going to go to chapter 21. It says, and he that stealeth the man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. So, according to the scriptures, man, we're supposed to put this Edomite, the people that took us from our land, right? And let's not get it twisted. Before the so-called Negro went into slavery, it was the Taino Indians, all right, of the respective islands that were taken back to Portugal, back to Spain. And then they brought their brothers, all right, the Moors and the Israelites in Africa, and they brought them over here to the Americas. So according to Torah, the Most High would not be a righteous judge if he didn't put you guys into slavery. And he wouldn't be a righteous judge if we didn't put you to death. So to ask Malcolm X during the 60s, while our people are getting lynched and slaughtered like cattle, being treated like second-class citizens, like he said, not even human beings, this devil is so proud he has the nerve to ask the question, is it okay, do you think it's okay, do you think it's right to teach, to hate us, to hate white people? Yes, it is. Okay? And not only that, the scriptures say that we need to put you to death. And you see, we don't, and see, here's the thing, and this is how you know who the wicked of the earth is. You see, we don't hate you for no reason. Like, you try to paint a brush like, oh, you just hate white people. No, we don't just hate white people, man. For, you know, just because of who they are. All right? That's not how Israelites, we're righteous, okay? We judge a man, the Most High says, by actions are weighed, right? He weighs the hearts. The Most High measures a man by his actions, and we do the same. You know, why? Because we are the seed of the righteous. So we don't hate you Edomites, which you call yourself white. We don't hate you because you're white. We hate you because of your actions, because of your character. All right? You cannot make that which is crooked straight. All right? And we have the right to hate you. You want to take away our right to hate you. You, the Edomites, they just hate us because we're just us. They just hate us because of the color of our skin. They hate us because of how we look. They hate us because they ain't us. Now, let me clarify something before I continue on in the scriptures. Just because you might have lighter pigment, all right, that doesn't mean that you are necessarily a white man. Okay? Let's get that. Book of Numbers, chapter 18. Or 1 and 18, I'm sorry. Numbers 1 and verse 18. It says right here, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers. So, if you are a quote-unquote, you look like a white boy, but your grandfather is a Negro, or your grandfather's Native American, or your grandfather's so-called Latino, then you are not a white man. According to the Most High and genealogy and bloodline, you actually are a Negro. You actually go back to the Negroid race, as the white man would say. You belong to the nation of Israel, the 12 tribes. Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 7 and verse 4. It says in the book of Psalms, chapter 7 and verse 4, it says, if I have rewarded evil unto him that was at peace with me, yea, I have delivered him that without cause is mine enemy. You see? So David, he's basically saying, you know, hold me to my righteousness. Judge my character. You see, the Father, he judges a man based off of his character. You see, based off of his righteousness. And when we observe you Edomites, you white people, you have no character. You have no integrity. You have no righteousness in you. You have yet to answer for your crimes. All right? Against humanity and against the Most High, right? Let me go over here. to the book of Psalms, chapter 119 and 161. Psalms 119, verse 161. Princes have persecuted me without cause. These Edomites, they persecute us. The princes, Anthony Fauci, he's a prince. I believe he's Haman. When you read about the story of the book of Esther, all right, I believe that Fauci, Anthony Fauci, is Haman in the regeneration, in the reincarnation. All right, that's just living his lot. You see, princes, these elites, all right, the bankers, okay. It says the princes have persecuted me without cause. They persecute the innocent. You see, without cause. But my heart standeth. Hold on. It says, my heart standeth in awe of thy word. I rejoice at thy word as one that findeth great spoil. Now why should we rejoice in the Most High's word? Because this is what he says in the book of Psalms, the last chapter in this book. It says right here in the book of Psalms, chapter 149, in verse 2. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. Let them praise his name in the dance. And that's another reason why they hate us. They hate us because they ain't us. Right? In the dance, let them sing praises unto him with a timbrel and a harp. Jump down to verse 6. It says, verse 5. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of God be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand. You see? That's why, David, that's why we stand on this word. Because we know that the Most High is going to requite the wicked. He is going to judge the wicked. Everything you do on this side, right, is eventually going to come back upon you. Right? And that's why we rejoice. That's why we stand on this word. He says that we're going to have a two-edged sword in our hand. So that might be, you have to imagine, right? This is in the future, which is real soon. This is the last hour. So are we going to have literally metal katanas? Are we literally going to have metal claymores, swords? No, man. When he means a sword, it's just a weapon. And we're gonna be able to shoot laser beams out of our palms. That's the sword that we're gonna have. We're gonna have raw power. Can I prove that? Did not Yahushua say, the things that you see me do, you will do greater? The works that you do, the work that I do, you shall do even greater? Well, let's get an example of this two-edged sword that the saints are gonna have in their hands. Let's go to the book of Habakkuk. We're going to go to chapter 3 and verse 3. We're going to start there. It says, God came from Teman. Now, who's Teman? This fucking white devil, this Edomite, right? Teman is just one of the tribes of the white race. I believe in the nation of Esau, the nation of Edom, you have at least, I think, like 9 tribes or 11 tribes. Teman is just one of them, which happens to be the Germans, right? He came from Teman, and the Holy One from Mount Paran, Salah. His glory covered the heavens, and the earth was full of his praise, and his brightness was as the light. He had horns coming out of his hands. So the Messiah has horns like a rhinoceros. You got a horn coming out of his, he's gonna shoot a horn. No. When you go into the Hebrew, it says that those horns, it says beams of light. It says beams, bright beams out of his side. So those horns are bright beams. And when you see a bright beam coming out of a man's hands, what are those? That's called a laser, or what you would call like a laser beam. Or when you watch like Dragon Ball Z, right? They charge that laser beam and they shoot that energy blast right at you. They all got that from the scriptures. It says that he had horns coming out of his hands, and there was the hiding of his power. You see, looking at his hands, you wouldn't know that he could shoot energy out of his hands, right? He can release it and he can close it. So Yahweh Shai says the same things that you see me do, you shall do even greater. So yes, Israelites will have superpowers. So when we go back to the book of Psalms, chapter 149 and verse 6, it says, let the high praises of God be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand. Laser beams, right? To execute vengeance upon who? Upon the heathen, and punishments upon the people. To bind, getting water on my shit. To bind their kings with chains, and their nobles with fetters of iron. You see that? To execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. And who are his saints? Psalms 50 and 5, I believe. Who are the saints of the Most High? It says right here in the book of Psalms chapter 50 and verse 5, gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. The only ones that made a covenant by fire were those that were with Moses in the wilderness, the Israelites. Right? Let's keep going. Almost done. Let's go to the book of Psalms chapter 35 and verse 7. It says, for without cause have they hid for me their net in a pit, which without cause they have digged from my soul. You see, the scriptures say that the wicked, they can't sleep unless they plot evil, unless if they make evil, you know? So these elites, man, they're getting everything set up right now. This whole thing in the Ukraine, this whole thing going on with Russia is a distraction, all right, from what's really going on. What's really going on? Let's go to the book of Genesis. Let's see what this is really all about. Genesis chapter 25 and verse 23. So this is a story of Rachel and Isaac. All right. It says, and Yahweh said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people. So two distinct people are in your womb right now. Two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And that's why they hate us, because we're stronger than them, we're better looking than them, we have talent. I mean, hell, if I was an Edomite, I would hate Jacob too. Verse 24, and when her days were to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. For after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was threescore years old when she bare them. Now, let's get to the point. This is what this is all leading to. The book of Genesis chapter 27 verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and thou shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break the yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. The reason why all this is going on, that is a distraction from the plot of this book. The plot of this book is that you have two brothers, and they were going to be at constant war with each other until the Messiah came, until the end. And Jacob was going to subdue his brother Esau for all of the wickedness that he has done. So this, what's going on in Russia, is just a distraction. A distraction for the MOTB, the mark of the beast. And the mark of the beast is mainly for the children of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives. You are not to number the people. You're not supposed to know all of the Israelites that are on the planet. Esau wants to know that. Esau wants to control the Israelites, right? And Esau wants to put a microchip in each and every one of us so that we can be damned, so that he can get the birthright back. This is what this is all leading to, right? Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 69 and verse 4. We almost done. It says in the book of Psalms, chapter 69 and verse 4, they hate me without cause. A cause are more than the hairs of mine head. They that would destroy me, being my enemies wrongfully. You see? And we can look at history and see that you have peoples that were at peace, right? You can look at the Native Americans. They were at peace. And what happened? They gave them smallpox and slaughtered them off. The scriptures talk about that. Now, what should happen, right? If the Most High is a judge, if I went to your house and I slaughtered you, what should happen to me? The judge is probably going to give me the death sentence. And that's what the ultimate judge is going to do, right? It says, they that hate me without a cause are more than the hairs of mine head. So we have a lot of enemies. There's a lot of people that hate us. We're surrounded. But see, here's the thing. Jacob is asleep. You know what I'm saying? He's an ox that knoweth not his owner. An ass that don't know his master. Jake don't know what, he doesn't know that he's being set up right now. You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you have no idea what this white man, this Edomite, has in store for you. They that would destroy me, being my enemies wrongfully. It's not like they're our enemies in a righteous sense. You know, it's not like we went to the Edomites and raped all their women for no reason and killed all their people for no reason and took their land for no reason and brought them into slavery and in chains for no reason and burnt them at the stake and hung them and lynched their babies and dashed their babies across the stone for no reason. You know what I'm saying? He says they are mighty. You see, this white man is mighty. He got all this technology. Even now, as I record this, this bastard is monitoring me, is watching me. Right? It says, then I restored that which I took not away. We had to give the enemy something that we didn't even steal from him. It's like he came to our land, stole our land, and if we had any little possession, if we had any bullocks, if we had any cattle, if we had any fruits, spices, sugar, herbs, gold, you know what I'm saying? He said, oh yeah, not only just your land, I want all that shit too. Give me that shit too. Give it. Run it, nigga. Run it. That's what the white man did, bro. He's a niggard. Right? And what is a niggard, man? Let's go to the book of Sirach. Sirach chapter 14 and verse 3. Riches are not comely for a niggard. And what should an envious man do with money? You see, a niggard is someone who envies. You know what I'm saying? Covetous, wants everything that you got, takes everything that you got. You know what I'm saying? Is not satisfied. A nigga, man. Esau, the white man, is the true niggard of the earth. Okay? So, with that, I'm going to close this out. You know what I'm saying?
Could we press for a very simple answer to one question? Do you hate all white people? I don't think it's a fair question. The white man doesn't even come into my attitude. Mr. Muhammad teaches us to love our own kind and let the white man take care of himself. For a white man today, sir, after kidnapping millions of black people from Africa, stripping them of all human characteristics and relegating them to the role of chattel or cattle or animals, commodity, merchandise that could be bought and sold at will. And then 100 years since the Emancipation Proclamation, using every type of deceptive method to further us into slavery, called second-class citizenship, I think that it would take a whole lot of nerve for white people today to ask Negroes, do they hate them?
Call Halal Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem Kakadash and a Wad Babad Babal. Destruction to Babylon.